Did you know that a few precise snips can transform your garden's health and appearance? But where do you start? Welcome to the magical world of pruning. It's more than just chopping off branches, it's about directing growth, promoting health and enhancing beauty. It's like giving your plants a well-deserved spa day. They come out feeling rejuvenated, looking better and growing stronger. Understanding pruning is the first step to a healthier, happier garden. So, let's dive in and unlock the secrets to lush, thriving plants. Pruning is not as complicated as it seems. It is about directing plant growth and improving light penetration and air circulation. Pruning, at its core, is a strategic trimming process where we selectively remove specific parts of a plant. This could be branches, buds, or roots. But why do we prune? Well, there are three main reasons: health, aesthetics, and control. Firstly, health. Pruning removes dead or diseased branches, preventing the spread of disease and pests. It also allows for better air circulation and light penetration, both of which are essential for the overall well-being of a plant. Think of it as giving your plants a breath of fresh air and a chance to soak up more sun. Next up, aesthetics. Pruning shapes your plants and adds to the beauty of your garden. It's like giving your plants a haircut, trimming away the unruly parts and leaving behind a neat, pleasing shape. Remember, a well-pruned plant is a happy plant, and a garden full of happy plants is a sight to behold. Lastly, control. Pruning helps control the size and direction of your plant's growth. It's like having a conversation with your plants, guiding them on where to grow and how to spread their branches. Pruning can encourage a plant to grow in a particular direction or form, helping you maintain a certain aesthetic, or prevent a plant from overgrowing and overshadowing its neighbors. Now, how do you prune? The process varies depending on the type of plant, but there are a few general rules. Always prune above a node. That's the point where a branch or leaf attaches to the plant. Make your cuts at a 45-degree angle to prevent water from collecting on the cut, which can lead to disease. Pruning might seem intimidating, but it's a skill that you can master with a little practice. And trust me, the rewards are worth it. Your plants will be healthier, your garden will look better, and you'll have the satisfaction of knowing that you've mastered an essential gardening skill. The basics of pruning are simple, yet they make a significant impact on your garden. The right tools can make the job of pruning much easier and more efficient. Imagine yourself as a surgeon in the garden, with your pruning tools as your surgical instruments. Each tool has its own unique function, designed to perform specific tasks with precision and ease. First up, we have bypass pruners, the go-to tool for most gardeners. These are perfect for making clean cuts on live wood, offering precision that helps promote swift healing of the plant. Next, we have loppers. Think of these as bypass pruners on steroids. With their long handles, they provide the leverage necessary for cutting through thicker branches that bypass pruners can't handle. And then there are pruning saws. These are your heavy-duty tools, designed for tackling large branches and even small trees. They cut on the pull stroke, making your job easier and the cuts smoother. While it's crucial to have the right tools, it's equally important to keep them in good condition. That means keeping them clean and sharp. You wouldn't want to make a rough cut with a blunt tool, as it could harm your plants and make them susceptible to diseases. Invest time in maintaining your tools. Clean them after every use to prevent the spread of diseases from plant to plant. Sharpen them regularly to ensure they are always ready to make the cleanest cuts. Remember, clean and sharp tools are your best friends in pruning. With them, you're all set to master the art of pruning and watch your garden flourish. Scene script. Different plants require different pruning techniques. Let's explore some of them. First up, roses. When pruning roses, it's all about promoting air circulation and shaping the plant. Cut back to an outward-facing bud to encourage growth away from the center of the plant. Don't be afraid to remove about 1/3 of the plant, focusing on dead wood, weak canes, and spindly growth. Next, let's move to fruit trees. Pruning fruit trees can seem daunting, but it's all about balance. The goal is to remove crowded branches and promote a strong, productive framework. Start by removing any dead, diseased, or damaged wood. Then, thin out any areas where branches are crossing or growing inwards. Remember, the center of the tree should be open to sunlight and air. Shrubs are next on our list. The technique here varies depending on whether you're dealing with flowering or non-flowering shrubs. For flowering shrubs, prune them soon after they've bloomed to avoid cutting off next year's flowers. For non-flowering shrubs, it's best to prune them in late winter or early spring when they're still dormant. Now, onto climbers and vines. These plants often need a bit more attention. Prune them back hard in the early spring to keep them under control and promote vigorous new growth. Be sure to tie in any wandering stems to supports to guide the plant's growth in your desired direction. Lastly, let's discuss ornamental trees. Pruning is often minimal here, mainly to maintain a balanced shape and remove any broken, diseased, or dead branches. It's best to prune these trees in late winter while they're dormant, but before the heavy spring growth begins. Throughout this process, always remember to make your cuts clean and sharp. This helps the plant heal faster and reduces the chance of disease. Also, don't forget to sterilize your tools before moving on to the next plant to avoid spreading any potential diseases. Tailoring your pruning techniques to each plant type can significantly enhance their health and productivity. Now that you've got the basics down, you're ready to tackle your garden and help it thrive like never before. Just like us, plants have their seasons. Knowing when to prune is crucial. Let's dive into the world of seasonal pruning. Each type of plant has its own ideal time to be pruned, so it's essential to understand the different timelines to keep your garden thriving year-round. Spring flowering plants, like lilacs and rhododendrons, bloom on old wood, meaning the buds formed the year before. The best time to prune these is just after they finish blooming, usually in late spring or early summer. By doing so, you give them plenty of time to set buds for the next year's blooms. Summer flowering plants, on the other hand, bloom on new wood. These plants, including roses and hydrangeas, should be pruned in late winter or early spring, as this encourages new growth and more flowers. Evergreens, such as pines and spruces, require pruning in late spring when their new growth, or candles, are just starting to expand. This helps maintain their shape and keeps them healthy. Fruit trees have their own unique pruning schedule. Generally, they're pruned in late winter to promote vigorous spring growth, but timing can vary depending on the specific type of fruit tree. Deciduous trees, those that lose their leaves in the fall, are best pruned in late winter while they're still dormant. This allows for easier visibility and reduces the risk of disease transmission. Remember, timing your pruning correctly can make all the difference. The right cut at the right time can lead to healthier, more productive plants and a more beautiful garden. Pruning is a skill, and like any skill, it requires practice and understanding to avoid common mistakes. You see, one of the most prevalent blunders is over-pruning. It's easy to get carried away, but remember, every cut is a wound to the plant, so less is often more. Another common misstep is making improper cuts. Cutting too close or too far from the growth bud can cause damage. Aim for a diagonal cut about 1/4 inch above the bud, ensuring a healthy and vigorous regrowth. One more mistake that often goes unnoticed is neglecting tool maintenance. Dull or dirty tools can cause jagged cuts or introduce disease. Always ensure your tools are clean and sharp for that perfect, precise cut. And remember, not all plants have the same pruning needs. What works for your roses might not work for your apple tree. So, keep learning, keep pruning, and keep growing. Avoiding these common mistakes can help your plants thrive even more. Pruning is an art that can transform your garden. Today, we've journeyed through the fundamental aspects of this vital gardening practice. We started with the basics of pruning, understanding its necessity for plant health and aesthetics. From there, we ventured into the tools of the trade, learning about bypass pruners, loppers and saws, and the importance of maintaining clean, sharp tools for precise cuts. We then delved into the techniques for different plants, discovering how roses, fruit trees and shrubs each require a tailored approach to pruning. We learned the significance of timing in our seasonal pruning guide and how it encourages flowering, fruit production and dormancy. Lastly, we touched on common pruning mistakes, shedding light on errors such as over-pruning, improper cuts and neglecting tool maintenance. Now that you've mastered the art of pruning, it's time to put these tips into action and watch your garden thrive.